Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. And my goodness, this is getting very light in here. I'm trying to figure out why are the lights doing this, but it is during it's still light outside, so that's probably why. A little bit lighter in here. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Let's see what we have going on here today. And so our card is the Fool. Which is always a very welcome archetype. We have, it looks like a star and a J there. Maybe we have two J's. So a J seems like an important number. I mean letter. Okay. Yeah, so where are we gonna start? I feel like we have a nice little fox right here. Okay, so there is a sense of something sly going on. Almost a little tiny bit of a conspiracy. And I think that it's had your focus. I think you've been worried about it, a little bit stressed. I think with this Fool card coming into play, it is really just a sense of letting go of things right now. I don't feel like there's really much you can do in this moment. You don't want to drive yourself absolutely bonkers, worried, obsessed, looking for every little detail. I understand, believe me, but sometimes we just end up making things worse for ourselves ultimately. And I think just letting it go, I always try to remind myself, people do what they do, Very often they do not even think about other people while they're doing it. It is very rarely a slight against you. It might be painful. It might be hurtful. It could even destabilize, what your life looks like right now. But ultimately, you are the only one that's going to show up for yourself. Period. And not that we can't trust other people, but nobody is going to save us or create a life for us that is meaningful. We have to do that. Okay, so when we feel like something's going on, or there's just kind of little indicators that something is a little screwy, right? We could spend our whole lives trying to investigate that thing. And, maybe you will come back to it and figure it out. But I think for the time being with this Fool energy, it is all about letting it go for a while. Being in your, being a little more carefree, joyful, okay? I don't, it's hard. I know it's hard, though. It is hard. It's hard to let go of that feeling. But then I see as we turn this person walking, Okay. And then we have, it looks like a seahorse, which I love the seahorses. When I've seen them at the aquarium, they're so cute, and they all kind of, when they sleep, they tie their little tails around the plants, and they all bunch together. And to me, when I look at them, it is a sense of family, a family dynamic. It maybe doesn't seem overtly as family oriented as maybe other, pack animals or tribal animals, but, you can sense that there is a feeling of closeness within not only the babies and the adults, but the adults themselves. And so I think that, this really is, a sense of going to your chosen family, going to your friends, your supports, and having some fun, letting loose a little bit. That your birthday season is coming up here, and it is a time for enjoyment. I demand it. You have to do something fun. Now we have the star, okay, and we have that J. It almost looks like J-O, Joe, which is one of my favorite names, Joe. And the star, of course, a sense of a goal being reached. That beautiful celestial light kind of glowing in your life. You made that happen, right? You created the space for something good to be received, witnessed, made use of. And I feel like, it's a lovely, lovely place beneath that beautiful, beautiful star there. Okay. Now, I do see we have, it's kind of an arrow, a sharp turn. And so I feel that things have changed quickly. Something has changed. I think that this is involving this feeling that you have. But, I think that you're going to go with the flow of it. And I'm trying to look at this one and see. It looks like a flower with a flower with some kind of butterfly or bee or something coming to land on it. And I think, even with this kind of feeling of not exactly knowing what's going on, you are still in your place of power, of growth. You have trained for this. Unfortunately, you know what it is when somebody's lying to you. When somebody is acting weird, when their story doesn't add up, when all of a sudden they have some off-the-wall detail. It already felt strange, but then it's like they add in this little, and it's like, okay, sure. Okay. You know what? If that's what you have to do, honey, I guess good for you, right? So, unfortunately, I'm sure most of us have been in that situation. And, that's what I like to say. We've trained for it. We've had to go through some training, to know when we know something is not right. Okay, so we have that Fool energy, but you are not being made a fool of. Again, when people do silly, stupid, careless, whatever, selfish stuff, they are the fool. They're the ones. Just come out and say what you want, what you need. I don't know why people waste each other's times. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But it is what it is, and that's life. And even sometimes the people that you love the most, you think are going to be the, whatever, they just, and I don't think that it's that people are necessarily like bad people. They just, they get lost in whatever they're feeling. They get lost in the situation. And, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It's try not to take it personally if something is going on that is like, pretty upsetting. It's hard. I see a person kind of down here praying. And, I hate to also be that person. Go to your faith. Go to your spirituality. Fortify yourself. Try not to carry this tension with you, this stress with you. Things are going to work out how they should. Okay? It might be hard for a while, but they are going to work out how they are supposed to. And it will be better on the other side. I promise you that. Okay? And let's see. What do we have over here? We have a tea. We have an apple. So the apple, good health. Okay, so that's a plus, right? Everything is going good as far as you're feeling pretty well. The tea, I don't know exactly what it could be a name. It could be a place. It could be a word that you are, that's in the front of your mind. I see a little bit of emotionality down here. But ultimately, I really feel like this, and this is going to sound weird, but like this is not as upsetting as you thought it would be. Whatever it is. I think that this is something you've already thought about, you've already considered, and now some of the pieces are coming together. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. This all makes sense a little bit more now. But there's maybe not any concrete evidence. And so, this is where I kind of think, take a break from, at least pace yourself, okay, emotionally, with these things. And, for real, go be with the people that you love. Go be with the people that support you. Enjoy yourself a little bit. Let go of some of this. Because ultimately, it is what it is, what it is. And I hate that. I hate when people say it is what it is. But listen, sometimes it really does apply. It really does. All right. And so now we are going to do the lightness of being affirmation cards. These are the earth element. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of split this. Okay. Divine will, trust. Nature creates in stillness. Gently breathe this in. Surrender to unknown love. Yeah. I think where things become unmanageable, where, something happens, changes the dynamic, things feel whatever, hopeless in some ways. But you already, in your heart of hearts, right? And ultimately, it comes down to what you decide to do. you know, honor yourself, take care of yourself. And in that stillness, there is love. There's love that maybe you didn't hear before. You are held by the universe. You are cared for. You know, you're not alone in whatever is happening. And does it feel good? No. I know. But it will pass. And like I said, it'll be better on the other side of it. And try not to take it super personally, no matter what happens or what's said, or, you know, and maybe this has nothing to do with you. Maybe this is like something happening in your family that you're finding out about, and it's really, you know, it ends up being pretty hurtful. And that's understandable. But try not to internalize it too much. Do not make this part of your self-mythology more than it needs to be, you know. I think that, you know, this is something that happens to a lot of us. And, you know, I've kind of tiptoed around the cheating, maybe. And I don't know that this is cheating. I'm not going to say that that's what it is, but it is an energy, right? It has its own kind of vile energy. And, you know, it's very hard not to take that personally, but, you know, ultimately people just are, selfish about things. You know, we all are, in our own ways. And so, you know, I think it's important just to kind of, I don't know, take care of yourself, you know, go slow with your decision making. Take yourself out of the situation where you can. You know, be careful with your reactions and so on. Mindfulness. And having the support that you need. That's the big thing. So, I hate that this was the reading. I haven't had one that felt like this in a while. I don't often see a lot. Like, sometimes I get the vibe of a cheating kind of thing, but it's never like kind of the focus of a reading. But this one felt really potent. So, but again, I don't know that it's cheating. I don't even know if it's cheating involving you. It could be somebody else in your life, you know, going through it. And it's a residual effect kind of thing. But, you know, next week it's going to be better. I promise. It's going to be a better reading. Happier reading. I demand it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you. I love you all so much. I appreciate the time that you spend with me. You know, it is an honor. And if you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and the algorithm decides everything about what happens to the videos, how far out they go, and so on. So things like liking the video, watching the reading from the beginning to the end, sharing the link on other social media platforms. Other than that, if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please, you know, definitely do. I read all of them, and I, you know, sometimes it takes me a day or two to reply back just because I reply back to all of them. And so, you know, it takes a little bit of time, but I will, and I do read them. And I love knowing who is kind of watching the videos and stuff. It really makes me want to keep doing the readings because it kind of, you know, there's an energy to our interactions. And I appreciate that. All right. I'm going to thank you again. I love you. I love you. It's almost Libra season. And yeah, we'll talk in a couple days.